Hello, my name is Christine Fundell. I am the Accessible Technology Services Coordinator at CSUSB, and today I want to talk to you about Blackboard Ally. Ally is a great universal design for learning tool that not only helps you ensure accessibility for students who need it, but it also allows all students to download your content in the file type they prefer. Ally was rolled out campus-wide last spring and integrates into the Blackboard LMS. Now, before we get started, I'd like to briefly touch on accessibility and usability. When you're putting together materials for a course, remember that accessibility won't just benefit students registered with Services to Students with Disabilities, or SSD. Students who have disabilities may not always be documented with SSD. They may have chosen to not disclose their disability and may choose to work through courses and any issues on their own without receiving accommodations. Sometimes students don't realize that they have a disability that would qualify for support services. By considering accessibility, you're going to help those students along with those who utilize SSD. Now, in the context of Ally, it's important to note that the accessibility of the content directly affects Ally's ability to generate useful alternate formats. So ensuring accessibility is highly beneficial to any student who desires to utilize that feature. Making your materials accessible contributes to an inclusive environment that is going to lead to usability for a lot of different students with different needs, including students who may have a preferred learning style, who are parents, who are commuters, who are English language learners, who are a combination of these things, and more. Ensuring accessibility for one really does equate to usability for many people in the long run. Now we're going to look at the ways Ally can support faculty and students. In the instructor view, Ally gives you an accessibility score for all uploaded content, such as Word documents, PDFs, PowerPoints, and images. It has gauges next to the content, and when you click on one of those gauges, you'll get details on which accessibility improvements you can make to have the greatest impact for your students. And we'll start by telling you the biggest potential accessibility barrier, but you get a list of all the issues. Ally gives guided instructions on how and why to address the issues, and will show you exactly where they are within the content. Once you fix the issues, you can re-upload the content and the Ally score will change. Let's take a look at how this works in practice. So here I am in my Blackboard course, and I have a lot of different content types that I've uploaded. A quick glance shows me that some of my content has been gauged as more accessible than others. I have a dark green gauge, which means there are no issues, a light green gauge that indicates my document is in good shape overall, an orange gauge that indicates there are more issues or that the issues pose a greater barrier. And finally, there's a red gauge indicating that my content would pose serious issues to a student who utilizes assistive technology or who would prefer to view it in a different format. The Blackboard Ally Quick presentation has a medium accessibility score, an orange gauge, and I want to find out why. When I click the gauge, the document will open up, and then it will tell me what my score is, 52%, and that my presentation contains images that are missing a description. I have 4 total images without a description, and it will take me through where each one of those are. I can click this button on the right that says what this means, and it will explain what an image description is and why I should use them. If I don't know how to add descriptions, I can click this other button that says how to add descriptions, and it will open up a link to tutorials for various presentation programs and show me how to fix it. So let's look at another example. Here is a Word document called Example Document. It's got a medium accessibility score, a score of 66%. And the first thing it tells me is that the document contains tables that are missing headers. But right at the top, there's an option that says All Issues. And if I want to find out everything that Ally has flagged as an issue with my document, so I can go in and fix it all at once, I can. So not only do I have tables that are missing headers, but the headings in the document do not begin at level 1. So I can either download this document and fix it by selecting the download arrow in the top navigation, or I can go to the original that I've saved on my computer and fix it there. So I'm going to open it here. So first I'm going to fix my headings by using the styles bar in Word and ensuring my heading 1 is at the beginning of my document and that subpoints are heading 2s. If I had any categories of information that were subsets of the heading 2s, they would be heading 3s. The easiest way to check on heading structure is to have the navigation pane open. And you do that by going to View and then selecting Navigation Pane, and all the headings will appear in that navigation. So I'm going to quickly add these headings to my document. And I can see that they're in order and all of my headings are accounted for. Now for my table, I'm going to highlight the top row, right click, navigate to Table Properties, ensure I'm in the Row tab. Then I'm going to select Repeat as header row at the top of each page and deselect Allow Row to break across pages. Now that I've made the improvements to my document, I'm going to save it so I can find it later. And I can now download it right here in Ally. Oops, excuse me. Right here, you can either drop the file to upload or you can browse and select. So I am dragging and dropping. And now Ally is very happy because I have a perfectly accessible document as far as it can tell. I have a perfect score. My gauge has automatically changed from orange, which was medium, to dark green, which is perfect, which is very exciting. Another thing you can do in Ally is you can add alternate text to images that are uploaded directly to Blackboard. Click the Ally gauge next to the image and then put a description in the box on the right-hand side. In this case, my image is decorative because it doesn't add any meaning to the content, so I can indicate the image is decorative. Now, there may be some content that's difficult to remediate. For example, this PDF example has a score of 5%. After clicking through the Ally tutorial, I realize I'm in over my head. Typically, PDFs are the most challenging document types, so don't hesitate to ask for assistance. If you get overwhelmed or need additional support, you can send an email to Accessible Technology Services at accessibility@csusb.edu, and our remediation team can help. Now, students won't see any of these scores or the gauges in their interface. What they do see is the option to download a variety of alternate formats so they can have some flexibility in choosing how they want to interact with the content. Next to the content, they'll see the letter A with alternate formats. When I select the A, I can see what the different options are. They include a tagged PDF, HTML, EPUB, electronic braille, audio, Beeline Reader, which is an HTML that has some enhancements for ease of reading. And I'm going to choose an HTML because I'm going to read this later on my phone and I want to be able to scale it so I can interact with it more easily. Now my document is converted into HTML format, and that's great because I'm choosing what works best for me. So that's a quick little tutorial on Blackboard Ally and how it works. As I mentioned, we do have staff that will support you as you work with Blackboard Ally. And we can also help you with the accessibility of any other instructional materials. We have tutorials available on how to create accessible instructional materials along with additional information about Blackboard Ally on our website at csusb.edu/ats/instructional-materials. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My email is cfundell@csusb.edu. That's C as in Charlie, F as in Foxtrot, U, N as in November, D as in Delta, ELL@csusb.edu. If you'd like, you can email our whole team at accessibility@csusb.edu. Thank you.